You probably bought the IKEA DIRIGERA because it was the cheapest hub on the shelf, but you're likely using less than 20% of its actual power. Here are 8 specific features that turn this budget plastic box into a professional-grade smart home brain. Did you know that your DIRIGERA compare with non-IKEA Zigbee devices? Based on current compatibility documentation, IKEA does not officially aim for multi-brand Zigbee compatibility, and third-party devices support can be a hit or miss. While some users have reported success with certain devices, it's not officially supported or guaranteed. If you choose to experiment during device pairing in the IKEA Home Smart app, you might find options for adding non-IKEA devices, though this varies by firmware version. The real magic here is Matter support, which is IKEA's official path for multi-brand compatibility. While the DIRIGERA primarily works best with IKEA's own ecosystem, the recent Matter controller updates have opened legitimate doors to mixing brands without workarounds. Hiding right under your nose, the workshop is IKEA's hidden beta testing ground which most users have no idea exists. But how do you find it? Open the IKEA Home Smart app and go to your profile settings. Scroll down and you'll see the workshop. This is where IKEA tests experimental features before public release. Inside, you'll find adaptive lighting controls that automatically adjust your light's color temperature throughout the day. There's also Matter controller functionality. Aside from that, you'll discover upcoming device support that hasn't hit the mainstream yet. And the coolest part is that the Matter Bridge beta arrived in the workshop in March 2024, months before it rolled out to everyone else in September. One important thing to note here is that these are beta features, so they might have bugs. If you don't have a problem with that, then you get to shape the future of IKEA's smart home ecosystem by testing new capabilities first. But if you find that amazing, then wait until you see this next feature IKEA doesn't advertise at all. In July 2025, IKEA rolled out firmware version 2.805.6, and it transformed the DIRIGERA from a simple Matter Bridge into a full Matter controller. The difference is that a Matter Bridge exposes your IKEA devices to other platforms like Apple Home or Google Home. A Matter controller, on the other hand, lets you add Matter-certified devices from other brands directly into the IKEA Home Smart app. This means you can now add Eve Energy smart plugs, various sensors, and other Matter-certified products. All this is controlled from one unified IKEA interface, and you're no longer locked into just IKEA products. And this is where things get really exciting. This feature is currently in beta, so you'll need to enable it in the workshop section. Not only that, you'll need firmware 2.805.6 or later, but once it's activated, you're essentially running a universal smart home platform from a hub that costs a fraction of competitors like SmartThings or Habitat. To show us that they didn't hold back on any of their products, this next IKEA feature is not so technical, but incredibly powerful at the same time. The DIRIGERA works perfectly without an internet connection. Unlike many cloud-dependent hubs that become expensive paperweights when your internet goes down, the DIRIGERA operates entirely on your local Wi-Fi network. As long as your phone connects to the same Wi-Fi network, even if that network has no internet access, you can control all your devices through the app and physical remotes. This is huge because commands and automations stay within your home network. And you know what the surprising thing is? Local control means faster response time since commands don't need to travel to the cloud and back. Since IKEA rarely mentions it in their marketing, it makes you wonder what more they could be hiding. Hidden inside your DIRIGERA is a dormant thread radio that is activated with firmware 2.805.6. What this does is turn the hub into a thread border router using OpenTH Thread version 1.4. For those not familiar with it, Thread is a low-power mesh network protocol that is part of Matter. Devices can talk to each other and extend the network range, creating a self-healing mesh, but Thread devices need a border router to connect to your home network and the internet. The advanced features of this is that the DIRIGERA can join existing Thread networks instead of creating separate ones. If you already have a HomePod Mini, Amazon Echo 4th Gen, or Google Nest Hub acting as Thread border routers, the DIRIGERA merges with that existing network. Unlike before, where each Thread border router would create its own island network, causing interference and confusion, the DIRIGERA unifies your Thread mesh, making everything more stable and reliable. Honestly, it's sad that most users have no idea their DIRIGERA even has Thread capabilities, let alone that it can intelligently merge with existing networks. Speaking of things that most users don't even know about, This next feature is the definition of automation at its finest. Hidden in the workshop is a feature called the light preset schedule for motion sensors. What it does is set different brightness and color temperature curves throughout the day that automatically adjust to sunrise and sunset times. And here's the part you're not ready for. It adjusts seasonally. As sunrise and sunset times change throughout the year, your schedules automatically shift. You set it once and it intelligently adapts. This feature appeared in early 2024 as a workshop beta with motion sensors like the Valhorn. It works beautifully. The kind of circadian lighting that expensive lighting systems like Philips Hue charge premium prices for. But as amazing as that may be, IKEA still has more secrets they kept from you. Instead of a motion sensor sending a signal to the hub, which then tells a light to turn on, you can create a direct link between the sensor and the light. They talk to each other without routing through the hub. You might be wondering why this matters. To start with, direct bindings have faster response times. No hub middlemen means lights react instantly. Not just that, if your hub goes offline for maintenance or a firmware update, your critical automations keep working. And to top it all off, there's reduced network traffic because the hub isn't processing every single motion event. In the OpenHab Dura integration documentation, there are links and candidate channels that show which devices can create direct connections. This is advanced stuff, not exposed in the IKEA app yet, but it's technically possible with the right tools. The kind you'd expect in expensive Zigbee coordinators. But this one is just hiding inside your budget-friendly DIRIGERA. As if hiding that wasn't enough, they went ahead and did the most with this one. In October 2025, IKEA released firmware 2.86.866.3, upgrading the DIRIGERA to Matter 1.3. This unlocked a feature that sounds technical, but is incredibly practical. Previously, if you had IKEA's in-spelling smart plugs with power monitoring, that data was locked to the IKEA app only. You could only see it there. With Matter 1.3 support, that energy data, real-time current in amps, voltage, power in watts, and total energy consumption in kilowatt hours is now exposed to external platforms via Matter. This means platforms like Home Assistant, SmartThings, and Homey can now access this data for automations. The surprising thing is how you get a notification when your washing machine finishes because power consumption drops below 10 watts, or tracking which appliances are energy vampires. What's even better, this works with some compatible third-party Zigbee smart plugs, transforming the DIRIGERA into a legitimate energy monitoring platform. What IKEA is building here is bigger than most people realize. With Matter support, thread integration, local control, and cross-brand compatibility, DIRIGERA is becoming exactly what smart homes were always supposed to be: open, unified, reliable, no lock-in, no cloud dependency, and no overpriced ecosystem